You're listening to All in the Industry, an independent podcast dedicated to behind-the-scenes talent in the hospitality industry, hosted and produced by me, Shari Bayer. Since initially launching in 2014, we have broadcast more than 400 episodes, and now we're excited to be on our new platform. To learn more, visit allintheindustry.com. Support for this episode comes from the Institute of Culinary Education, ICE. To learn more, visit ice.edu today. That's ice.edu. Well, hello. Welcome to All in the Industry. I'm your host and producer, Shari Bayer, and this is our 409th episode of this series, which is dedicated to behind-the-scenes talent in the hospitality industry. Today, I have a special on-the-road show from MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025, which took place in Abu Dhabi, UAE, on Tuesday, January 28th. And yes, I was there and thrilled to be covering this regional celebration, and I will share more details in a moment. But first, as I do in every show, I will start out with my PR tip, and then I will share several interviews from the awards celebration, including one speed round, and I'll close things out with my solo dining experience. As the founder of Bayer Public Relations, I'm going to tip the show off with my PR tip of the week. So today's tip is to celebrate the positive. Yes, let's concentrate on the good in the world and bring more awareness to people who are doing amazing things and trying to make the world a better place. Focusing on the good is also contagious and will spread faster than one even imagines. So let's bring positive energy and vibes and acknowledge each other's accomplishments and success, as life is too short not to appreciate our achievements. That's my tip today. Okay, so I'm excited about this show today, which is on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025, which took place in Abu Dhabi, UAE on Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. And I was so excited to be a part of this regional award celebration for the first time. My regular listeners of the show, as you know, I've been traveling a lot to attend 50 Best Restaurant celebrations, to the world's 50 Best, as well as regionals for Asia's 50 Best and Latin America's 50 Best. And this was my first time attending the Middle East and North African regional. So it was a real thrill, and I'm grateful to 50 Best for including me in the celebration. So this was the fourth edition of the Middle East and North Africa's 50 Best Restaurants Awards. Yes, MENA stands for Middle East and North Africa. And this event was sponsored by San Pellegrino and Aquapana, and it's a celebration of the best places to eat across 19 countries in the MENA region. Originally launched in 2022, the annual list reflects the best restaurant experiences of the Middle East and North Africa's 50 Best Restaurants Academy, an influential group of 250 leaders in the restaurant industry across the region, each selected for their expert opinion of Middle East and North Africa's restaurant scene. And restaurants from across 11 cities were announced as the 50 best places to eat in the region at the event, which was held at Erth Abu Dhabi, that's ERTH, and it was hosted in partnership with the Department of Culture and Tourism, Abu Dhabi DCT, and the ceremony culminated in the announcement of the region's number one restaurant, and I'll share in a minute who was awarded the number one restaurant this year. First, I'll let you know that in addition to the awards, I also attended a Meet the Chefs press event on Monday, January 27th, and that took place at the Abu Dhabi Edition. And it was an honor to be included in this event that featured chefs from around the world, including Raj Dagstani of Marmellata Bakery in Abu Dhabi, and I have an interview with coming up, as well as with Brian Betcher and Pierre Chambon of Cut by Wolfgang Puck. They have a location in Manama, Bahrain. So it was great to be a part of this exclusive event, getting to know some of the chefs. And this preceded the 50 Best Talks, which also took place at the Abu Dhabi Edition. And that is also where I stayed during my time in Abu Dhabi. And it was a wonderful property. I really enjoyed it. And the 50 Best Talks is a traditional part of the 50 Best celebration that usually takes place the day before the awards ceremony. And it was a live thought leadership forum exploring the powerful connection between food, memory, and heritage under the theme Memory on a Plate. And the program this year was designed to be both inspiring and educational, and it had a stellar lineup, including Edward Chartreuse of Disfrutar in Barcelona, the number one restaurant on the world's 50 best restaurant list 2024. And he's a part of my Chef Wise book, as well as Gagan Anand, the chef and owner of Gagan in Bangkok, currently number 3 on Asia's 50 Best Restaurants 2024. And he's also part of my Chef Wise book. And also a few other chefs, including Mostafa Seif, the executive chef of Khufu's in Cairo, Egypt, which is currently ranked number 4 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. And I have an interview with him coming up. So the 50 Best Talks, as usual, was great, and it was wonderful to be a part of it. And then the awards took place on Tuesday, January 28th, and it was a fantastic celebration, which started with an opening reception, followed by the awards themselves, and then a post-reception and after party, all on the same property, which was Erth Abu Dhabi, as I mentioned. And everyone was dressed up and looking very dapper, and I did some interviews, and it was a really fantastic evening. So congratulations to 50 Best, to all the chefs. And I'll tell you now who the number 1 spot went to. It went to Orfali Brothers for the 3rd consecutive year. And this is a restaurant in Dubai, which I had the privilege of dining at when I was visiting a few months ago. And I got to meet the 3 brothers, Mohammed Orfali and Wasim and Omar. And huge congratulations to them. I loved my experience dining there. And I have an interview with Mohammed coming up before I get to that. So the top 5 on the list, as I said, number 1, Orfali Brothers. Number 2 went to Tristan Studio, which is headed by Chef Himanshu Sani, who's also a Chef-Wise chef. And I had an extraordinary experience dining at his restaurant back in November. I talked about it on my episode 403. And this is a fine dining Indian tasting menu restaurant, and it is so special. So congratulations to Himanshu and his team for the number 2 spot. Number 3 went to Kinoya, also in Dubai, and this is Neha Mishra's restaurant, which I also went to in November, and she's also in my Chef Wise book. And as you will hear, as I have a quick interview with Neha, her excitement and my excitement about her earning the number 3 spot on the list, and I'm so happy for her. Number 4, as I mentioned, went to Khufu's in Cairo, and I also have an interview with the chef coming up. And then number 5, Ossiano, also in Dubai, and I have an interview with the manager. So that's the top 5. For the full list, you can go to theworlds50best.com and follow on social at theworlds50best, hashtag MENA's 50 Best. And again, big congratulations to everyone. Okay, so now I have 7 interviews. First, I speak with Raj Dagstani, the chef and owner of Marmellata Bakery in Abu Dhabi, UAE, currently number 29 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. He is the former director of operations for Thomas Keller in New York City, and we do touch upon that in our conversation. Then I speak with Mostafa Seif, the executive chef of Khufu's in Cairo, Egypt, currently number 4 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. We noted at the beginning of the interview about having an interpreter to help us in conversation, but we ended up doing the interview on our own. His English, I think, was much better than he thought it was. A couple of questions might have been interpreted a little differently, but we had a really lovely conversation. And both of those first 2 interviews took place on Monday at the Meet the Chefs press conference and the 50 Best Talks. Then I take you to the awards on Tuesday. And first I speak with Guillaume Barray. He's the restaurant manager at Ossiano in Dubai at the Atlantis The Palm. This is the restaurant with the giant aquarium, and it's currently number 5 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. And it also received the Art of Hospitality Award. Congratulations. And if you go back to my episode 403, I had spoken with Chef Gregoire Bourget. I had dined at Ossiano when he did a collab with Talabashmi back in November, and she's a part of my book, and she's also number 6 on MENA's 50 Best. And she received the Estrella Damm NA Chef's Choice Award this year for 2025, which is awesome. And Gregoire is no longer a part of Ossiano, but I'm glad that I got to meet him back then and experience Ossiano. And then I speak with Solomon Haddad, the founder and chef of Moonrise in Dubai, which I had the opportunity to dine at back in November, and it was absolutely fantastic. It's a 12-seat restaurant, Michelin-starred omakase, and it's currently number 10 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. So congratulations to Solomon and his team. Then I speak with Neha Mishra. As I mentioned earlier, we're pretty excited in our conversation as it's right after the awards are announced, and she is the founder and chef at Kanoya in Dubai, number 3 now on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. And I also had the opportunity to dine there and meet Neha for the first time when I was in Dubai in November. And this is an izakaya and ramen restaurant, and so excited for her. Then I speak with Mohammed Orfali, the owner and chef of Orfali Bros Bistro in Dubai. And we spoke after his press conference with Wasim and Omar and William Drew after they announced that Orfali Brothers received the number 1 spot on MENA's 50 Best Restaurant list for the 3rd consecutive time, which is truly amazing. I had also spoken to Mohammed back in November. He's a part of my episode 403, and I had the opportunity of dining at his restaurant, and I'm so happy for Mohammed and his brothers. Finally, on this show, I have an interview with the one and only William Drew, director of content for 50 Best, including MENA's 50 Best. And I've had William on the show for most of my coverage of the 50 Best. I always try to catch him, and he's always very generous with his time and just so lovely to speak with. So thank you, Will, for joining me again, and congratulations to you and your team for putting together another amazing 50 Best production. And I will leave it at that. I hope you enjoy my interviews from MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025 from Abu Dhabi. Here you go. Please enjoy.
My name is Raj Dagstani. My restaurant is Marmellata Bakery in MENA Zayed in Abu Dhabi.
Amazing. A little about me. I've been doing PR the longest, mostly for restaurants.
Yeah.
I started my podcast in 2014, all in the industry. It's on behind the scenes in hospitality. And Thomas Keller has been on my show.
Oh, amazing.
I did that interview at Hudson Yards. We did it in person, and it was such an honor to get to interview him. And then I had a book that came out last year called Chef Wise, which is on advice from chefs around the world. And now traveling and meeting a lot of chefs who are in my book and their colleagues. I just do this as out of passion.
I love it.
So
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Tell me about you. What's your background?
Dad's Iraqi. Mom's English. I'm born in the north of England. I grew up in New York, in the eastern seaboard of the U.S. We moved here 11 years ago for my wife's career. She's a physician. We came here when the Cleveland Clinic opened. I opened a little pizzeria called Marmellata in the commercial port as an excuse for my kids to have an after-school job. And so they're growing up in this country. I didn't want them to grow up under the bubble of entitlement and privilege. So we took this little storage space, converted it into a restaurant. We were open one night a week. And it's just grown with the city. As the city has grown, so has the restaurant. And today it's a much-loved, tiny little restaurant that's at the core of what we do.
And you mentioned earlier pizza.
Pizza. Yeah, it's a pizzeria. We opened it to be a bakery, but the first thing we started with was pizza, and everyone loved the pizza so much that we started and stopped with the pizza. So today we do a round-style pizza, 14 inches, 8 slices, 5 different pizzas on the menu. We're open 5 nights a week from 4 o'clock until 9:30. We make 450 pizzas every night, and alhamdulillah, we sell out every night.
How did you learn to make pizza? I mean, is it self-taught or?
Yeah, it's self-taught. It's self-taught, except I've taken every class I could ever take, starting in New York with a guy, God, what was his name? He just teaches pizza. God, it's going to kill me to forget his name. This is such a nice moment. Anyway, I've taken pizza classes with every pizza place. Yeah, you know him.
From Kesty.
No, before Kesty. He now it's like a social thing. So now people do like pizza parties. Okay. And even then, it was more like for the home cook. But that was the first class. But anyway, even during COVID, there's a guy called Noel Broner in LA that during COVID, all the pizzerias were locked down. And so he put a bunch of people online. And so I would be here at 4 a.m. listening to Noel's classes online, like live. So I've learned pizza from all those people online. I learned in Rome. I learned here. I learned from Angelo Iezzi. So it's just making a lot of bad pizza. I made a lot of bad pizza for a long time. Now it's decent, yeah.
Well, what's your style of pizza?
I like to say it's Abu Dhabi style, right? So it's round. It's 14 inches. Yeah, thank you very much. It's not New York enough to be New York. New York has to be big. It has to be more crispy. What's that Barstool guy? He always talks about ours has got some flop. You know what I mean? So it's not like idealistic anywhere. I think if you want New York, you go to New York. If you want Neapolitan, you go to Napoli. Ours is defined by the top. It's a cold fermentation, 24 hours, 00 flour, cut with 0 flour. The ingredients are local: figs from Liwa, mushrooms from the desert, burrata that's made here in the UAE. And so it's somewhere in between. But the flavor, the style, the guys making it, the people eating it, it's all Abu Dhabi. So I really feel like it's unique to this city.
So for people who haven't been to Abu Dhabi, what's your, why should they come? Why should they visit? Especially restaurants, especially your restaurant or any restaurant, but why should people come?
Because it's the Renaissance here. Because chefs, restaurateurs from around the world are coming here, and they're no longer building outposts. They're making this home. And as they make this home, there's an opportunity for growth. There's an opportunity for innovation. There's an opportunity for new things to happen. And that is what's happening. And we're an expression of that. So our family built this restaurant as an extension of our family. But it's become much more than that. So it's a restaurant that embraces values. It's one with authenticity. It's one with integrity. It's one like the other ones that are coming up and that are growing here that has got a good base of products to draw from, a broad base of technique, and a very, very interested and eager audience. And so the audience pushes us. The audience here have experienced good food. They're well-traveled, well-educated, well-informed when it comes to food. And so it pushes us to be better than we could be, which is great.
Yeah, it's my first time here. I went to Dubai in November for awards that were happening there. And being here, I like the vibe. I think people are so nice.
People are so nice.
What does it mean to have MENA's 50 Best in your city?
It's an amazing spotlight for people, not for ourselves, but for everybody in our industry that are doing things that are worth paying attention to. And so I think for a long time, people look to the West to imitate what was the right ideas. And today, I think it's a little unbridled. People feel empowered and entitled to do things of the region, for the region, and to stay true to their own vision, as opposed to trying to imitate things that have come before. So it's a ripe time for innovation. It's a right time for taking on new challenges, building new restaurants, having license to do things the way we want to do them and the way it can be. And as an experienced restaurateur, it's an opportunity to impact the industry. And so there are a lot of things that were broken, and people have inherited a broken system. And so with an entrepreneurial mindset, you have the opportunity to build the future of this country together with the people that are living here. It's amazing. It's really a great opportunity.
Amazing. All right, I'm going to let you go. But before I do, what's your chef advice? I did this book in 2023, Chef-wise, chef advice. So I want to know, what's your top chef advice?
Yeah, I think it's listen, right? So someone asked me that earlier, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was listen. And then what I mean by that is it's like having a kid. So we gave birth to a baby business, a baby restaurant, and we've allowed it to play a part in its growth. And so our ideas for the restaurant have morphed over time because the restaurant has a will of its own. And so it's building a model that allows for innovation, for the will of the restaurant to emerge, which, did I say that? Like, our restaurant is called Marmellata Bakery because originally we intended to open a bakery, but then we made pizza and everyone loved the pizza, so we stuck with the pizza. And so some people think that like our growth has been manufactured because it's been exponential and we're really well loved. And there's a certain amount of story about when are you open, when are you closed, and it's short hours, but it's the expression of giving birth to a baby business and allowing it to become itself and participating in its growth. And so today it's a full-fledged business, but a large part of our success is that we've listened to what it wants to be and allowed it to become that and encouraged it to be that independent of our own ideas. Listen. Yeah, listen a lot. Listen.
I love that. Okay, I have one more question.
Yeah.
You worked with Thomas Keller. What's something about him or working with him that people don't know, or advice you got from him?
I think everybody knows Chef Keller. And the standout with Thomas is he's really Thomas. Chef Keller is really himself. And so like the word integrity comes to mind because everything he does, his restaurants are, if it's a 3-star Michelin restaurant, every touch point in that restaurant, whether it's HR or finances or dining room or kitchen or product or anything else, is at that same level. And so it isn't the front of the house and the back of the house. It's the dining room and it's the kitchen. And there's no gap between them. The same level of quality, same level of standard, same level of professionalism at every touch point of that business and that industry. So that's something that he practices and that, I had the great privilege of practicing with him.
Fabulous. I need to come to your restaurant. I hope to make it there while I'm in town, but congratulations.
Thank you.
And enjoy the festivities.
Great to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers.
My name is Mostafa Seif from Egypt. My restaurant is Khufu restaurant inside Pyramids. This is Mr. Mark. You can help me for...
I'm the official translator.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you for being a part of this interview. So we're at the 50 Best Talks in Abu Dhabi, and you just gave a talk. You want to talk a little about what you spoke about?
For me, first, thank you for 50 Best for invite me. This talking is amazing talking. I speak with my love cuisine is Egyptian cuisine and my culture, my country. Where I speak my language is I like speak with Arabic. But for me, this is a good chance. Thank you.
It was a wonderful talk. So the theme was memory on a plate, and we had a dish of yours.
Yeah. This menu in the plate is, for me, I have a lot of memory. Today, I make a sample for koshari. Koshari, this very, very, is very famous dish for all poor people. I come in for poor city, but I love it, koshari. Koshari is good meal. Is have lentil, chickpeas, rice, macaroni, tomato sauce. This is I am a baby. I am go to school. After I finish, I am very hungry. I go to koshari shop. I make I don't have a lot of money. But you give me small money. You give me it's koshari normal with a plate. They give me like is packing in is name in Arabic in kiss. We cutting. You make a like we put a big hole with crushed for checking. After cutting, I eat like this. For me, this is my dream. This is memory in the plate.
Amazing. I need to get to Cairo. I have not been. When did your restaurant open?
It was open in 3 years ago. This is every day open in breakfast in 8 and 12 on 1 o'clock and dinner in 4 every day inside pyramids. Is the front of pyramids. You have a big one. Is front of it. His name is Khufu Restaurant. Please, anyone, please come in Khufu. Come in kitchen. Tell me I am coming for eat your food.
And what must I eat when I come?
For me, I have the same kosher salad you eat today. I have a lot of signature in local cuisine. You have is rice. His name is Ma'ammar with meat. For me, this my wife dishes. And you have kishk. This is my mother dishes. I have a lot of story with family. I put all the family story for taste for food for this the menu in Khufu.
Well, it was delicious. And have you been to MENA's 50 best restaurants before? Have you been?
Number 5 and the number 1 in Egypt. This film is first time is new interested in 50 best is number 5 for me. It's,
That's incredible. Congratulations.
I am very happy for this. This my local cuisine. I work with local ingredient, local chefs, local equipment, local food. For me, I'm very happy. I make this number 5 with local. For me, is local is original. All the people you love local.
Yes. I'll let you go, but what are you looking forward to? Have you been to Abu Dhabi before?
Yeah, I come in first time in Abu Dhabi in 7 years. I have his competition Top Chef Arabia. I am winner in Dubai. I have a lot of story in Dubai.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Last question. I did a book that came out almost 2 years ago called Chef Wise. It's a book of chef advice. What advice would you give to someone who wants to be a chef, an aspiring cook?
For me, cooked what you like it. Cooked your cuisine. Not copy anyone. Not copy any recipe. Make a story for food. Copy yourself. Copy your food. You all the story you're trying food with your young. This original food. You try it, you like it, all the people will like it. Focus for local cuisine.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. I am sorry, the English is not best English, but it's...
Your English is very good.
Thank you so
very,
much.
very good.
Thank
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you so
And I'll see you tomorrow at the awards.
Inshallah, يعني make a good number for Egypt. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am very happy to come in for invest Egypt in all the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. How do you say thank you?
Thank you. شكرا.
Shukran?
شكرا.
Shukran.
عفوا.
All right. Enjoy.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you.
مع السلامة.
Bye.
باي باي. مع السلامة.
Ma salama.
السلام عليكم.
Salam alaikum.
باي باي.
Well, hello, I'm Shari Bayer, host and producer of All in the Industry, and I'm coming to you live from MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025 in Abu Dhabi. And it's my first time here. I'm super excited, and we're at the opening reception for the gala. The awards are about to start, so I'm looking forward to seeing who's on the list and celebrating with all the chefs. So stay tuned for my coverage, and thank you as always for being part of All in the Industry.
My name is Guillaume Barray. I'm French and I'm heading the restaurant Ossiano in Dubai as a general manager.
And I dined there several months ago, my first time in Dubai, for a collab you did with Talib Ashmi, and it was excellent. The property is amazing. So what are you looking forward to most tonight, being here at the awards representing the restaurant?
Well, we come with ambitious prospects. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping, like everybody else in the room, to get good results. Ossiano was very well positioned in the last year, and we're hoping to maintain.
I believe currently number 3. Okay, it was 3. Well, that's amazing. So
For people who aren't familiar with Ossiano, what type of cuisine are you doing? I learned that Ossiano stands for the ocean.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So the room, the setup is in front of a huge aquarium with around 70,000 fishes, stingrays, sharks, sea breams, etc. So it's mainly focused on seafood, obviously, on fishes, and the concept is really about storytelling. So we are traveling around the Atlantic Ocean, exploring different places, culture, preparation, ingredients, and so on.
And do you say Ossiano or Ossiano?
Well, both works. I say Ossiano, but I
Okay.
hear a lot of Ossiano. Yeah,
Okay, either or.
it's a personal choice.
Okay, good to know. And tell me a little more about your background. What brought you to Dubai?
Well, it was very much an opportunity. I've been contacted by Atlantis, by Grégoire actually, the former chef, to partner up, and I joined. I mean, it's a great city, super vibrant, really booming in terms of hospitality, and it was an opportunity not to miss.
Well, I hope to get back to the restaurant. I will be going back to Dubai after this. So congratulations just for being here.
We'll be happy to welcome you again.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Please tell my listeners your name and restaurant.
Suleiman Haddad from Moonrise in Dubai,
And when did the restaurant open?
August 2021. I'm the owner, I'm the chef, I'm the accountant, and whatever this restaurant needs me to be.
Whatever needs to be
Whatever
done.
it is.
Well,
I've cleaned toilets before, whatever it is, I'll do it if I have to.
Yeah,
baby.
well, I've heard when being a chef and owner, it takes a lot. And I was fortunate to dine at your restaurant when I was in Dubai a few months ago, and it was extraordinary. I really loved the experience. So for people who haven't been there yet, how do you just describe your restaurant and your cuisine?
I don't know, I've always had a hard time explaining what I do. I mean, the essence of it is it's very Dubai kind of food, you know, but it's one of those cuisines you have to eat it to understand it. It's very me. It's the food I grew up eating. It's the flavors I grew up eating. It's very loosely related to my family's heritage. A bit of, the best way to describe, I always say this, like 20% Japanese, 50% Middle Eastern, 10% French, whatever, but it's 100% Dubai, you know?
I love that because when you said it's Dubai cuisine or totally Dubai, I'm like, what does that mean? But I guess it,
Experience it to know what it means.
well, I'm glad I got
Which
to.
you know what it means.
Yes, I do. So it's now my secret and everyone's secret who comes to your restaurant. But we're here at MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025. And you've been to this award celebration before?
Yes, third year for us. Last year was canceled, but second time that I'm at the awards. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know what to expect. I don't think about these things. Last year we were number 4, so it's a lot to catch up on. It's a big, it's a big bar that we've set for ourselves that we have to, that we want to hit higher. So let's see. But it's not in our control.
Well, I
Not-
mean,
not
just
anymore.
being here, being on the list and a part of the community and being recognized for what you're doing, I think is incredible. With the list, how much impact does that have with customers coming in? Do people tell you that's how they came to the restaurant?
Yeah, a lot of guests, yeah, but also like lists like 50 Best, what's really good about them is the access. You end up like getting to know a lot of people that like on the Asia list from Singapore, on the world's list. So you end up meeting so many people and then it just opens up so many opportunities, which one thing leads to another, which lets guests definitely have a lot more awareness of us, keeps Moonrise on top of mind and like puts us where we want to be, if that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah, it does. So tell me a little about your background. Where were you born?
My mom
Dubai.
is French, my dad is Syrian, but I'm born in Dubai. And you can see all of that in the food.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to let you get to the festivities. But before I do you want to do a very quick speed round?
Speed round.
Yeah.
What's the speed round?
I name a couple things like chocolate or vanilla, and you get to pick your
Yes,
preference.
big time.
Okay.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Mine's chocolate. Eat in or eat out?
Out.
Indoor dining or al fresco dining?
What's al fresco?
Outdoor. During the pandemic, I added that to my speed round game because in New York,
I
we
guess-
were dining out only
I guess
for a while.
really good weather in Dubai for 5 months. So whenever I can do outdoor, yeah, definitely outdoor.
I have to say it's really wonderful weather now. I feel
November
like
was a bit
it was
sticky,
hot.
right?
Yeah, it was hot and sticky, and now I'm like, this is dreamy.
Yeah.
Okay, wine, beer, cocktail, mocktail.
Cocktail, mocktail.
Okay.
Cocktail, mocktail.
Cocktail, mocktail.
Depending on the mood. Cocktail, mocktail.
Tasting menu a la carte.
Tasting menu.
Small plates or large plates.
Small plates.
Communal table or chef's counter.
You know the answer. Chef's counter.
I love a chef's counter. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, a few more. Wait, well, sandboarding or taking a camel ride.
None. I don't like going to the desert and getting my feet dirty. So off-roading in the desert, if you're gonna go there. I do sandboarding because I always get scared of breaking bones and not being able to go to work. One of my biggest fears.
Well, yeah,
Definitely no sandboarding.
that would not be good. Getting dressed up in black tie or jeans and t-shirt.
In between. I always dress up, always, wherever I go, without a blazer usually, today with a blazer, but in between. Always in between. Very classy, but like that you can wear anywhere.
Awesome. Okay, last two are cheese plate or dessert.
No way cheese. No way cheese. Dessert all the way. All the way, no doubt.
Okay, and Dubai or Abu Dhabi? Or New York City?
No comment.
All right,
UAE.
fantastic. That's the game. Congratulations, just being here, I think is a huge honor.
I've never been to
And
New York, so I can't answer New York City.
come visit.
But it looks amazing.
You know someone there
You can't
now.
Put me between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I'm from Dubai and I'm right now in Abu Dhabi. The UAE. I take the UAE.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Have fun
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank you so much
And
for
so
being
nice
here.
to meet you. So good to
Yes,
see you
yes.
too. I can't wait to hopefully come back to your restaurant.
Looking forward with pleasure.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi. Tell my listeners your name and restaurant and what just happened.
Kenoya in Dubai, Neha, and we came number 3. Number 3!
I'm beyond thrilled for you. Congratulations, it's huge.
I thought they made a mistake. Are we not on the list? And then it just kept going and kept going. And oh my God, feel so blessed. You know, I can't get my head around it.
Well, I'm just so happy for you and that I was in Dubai a few months ago, which is kind of surreal for me that I was here and I'm back and I got to go to your restaurant and meet you and have your delicious food. And I understand why you're on the list and you're number 3. Your place is so special.
Oh my goodness. I mean, now it's just, you know, like more and better and hard work pays off. That's all I can say. What a win. What a great year. Oh my God. What a great year. It's January.
I mean, enjoy. Congratulations. So well deserved. And I love that you're part of my Chef Wife's book and just
I know.
It's-
You called it.
I called it. No, I didn't do anything. You did everything. So congratulations. Go celebrate and cheers.
Well, hi. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell my listeners what just happened. Your name, your restaurant.
Mohammed Orfali, Orfali Bros Bistro or Restaurants in Dubai. And yeah, number 1 in Middle East, North Africa, 2025. 3 years in a row.
That's amazing.
Thank
3
you.
brothers,
Yeah,
3
we
years in a
are.
row, number 1. So, I mean, dumb question, but
That's
how
too
do you
much.
feel?
I feel great. I feel, I don't know, it's too much. It's, we're super happy. We're honored to receive this, like, you know, this award again and again. And that's just come from people. People loving us, like, you know, they vote for us. So we feel it's really responsible. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that I've dined at Orfali Brothers, and it was so exceptional in meeting you just a few months
Thank
ago. I feel very lucky to know you and have had that experience. So, how are you going to celebrate?
We're gonna back tomorrow, celebrate with the team. I don't know how we're gonna celebrate this time, but we're gonna do something really big.
Yeah, and you have your new restaurant
Yes.
that opened recently, 3
Yeah,
weeks
4
ago. Is
weeks
everything
ago.
threes besides one?
Yeah, no,
One
just
and
like-
threes?
Just like a month ago, about 4 weeks ago, almost going to 5. We just opened a Thai-inspired concept called MENA, exactly next block to Orfali Bros, and I don't know what this concept was gonna what's gonna make next year. We have a partner, his name Abhiraj Katwani, and he's like the head chef of that concept. And we work it together with the R&D team of Orfali Bros. 3 bros coming soon, and Orfali Bros Lab will be also soon.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. I'm so
you.
happy for you. Such an amazing restaurant. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello, William Drew.
Hi, Shari. How are you?
I'm great. It's nice to see you in Abu Dhabi.
Absolutely. Here for MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025. Great to have you join us.
It's wonderful to be here. You know, I usually catch you at the beginning of these events, but we're at the end. We're going to go to the post-gala party, but just announced that Orfali Brothers, #1. What's your takeaway?
My takeaway is it's amazing to be back doing Middle East and North Africa's 50 Best Restaurants in person, live on the ground, because we weren't able to do that last year. And we're so happy to be back in the UAE and celebrating the amazing, diverse hospitality across the whole region. Orfali Bros Bistro, Mohammed Orfali was just saying on the stage that they serve food with love, and that's the secret of their success, if you like. And that's really important. It just sends that message of positivity that food can bring about getting people around the table and breaking bread and sharing that together, the universal language of food. So, that's partly what we're about in, what is, of course, a troubled region in many ways, but we are about celebrating the positives of that, the positive restaurants, the positive people trying to show the best side of this region through their food.
Yes, 100%. I mean, seeing the Orfali Brothers as the #1 and having dined there, and I experienced the food with love, and it makes a difference. And I love seeing also the women we were talking about a little before that were recognized. The best pastry went to Carmen in Dubai. Incredible. How do those special awards come about? What's the process?
They are essentially voted on by the same voting academy, 250 experts across the region. So they vote for the best restaurant experiences, but then they vote for some individual awards, such as the best pastry chef, which went to Carmen Hernandez. The Chef's Choice Award is actually voted for by the chefs from the list. That's slightly different.
Makes sense.
That went to Tala Bashmi from Bahrain. And best female chef, of course, went to Yasmina Hayek from Beirut in Lebanon. So an amazing representation of strong female role models leading restaurants on the list. Really a reflection of the brilliant women in this region and the incredible talent in the culinary world across the Middle East and North Africa.
100%. And I'm going to let you get to the festivities. One last question. What's something amazing you've eaten while in Abu Dhabi?
I have to say, I had some fantastic oysters last night at the chef's feast, and some fantastic sea bass skewers just grilled over charcoal. Simple, but really good, fresh seafood from this region. We are, of course, on the sea here in Abu Dhabi, and just fresh seafood is hard to beat.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Congratulations. You're an awesome host, the host with the most.
You're too kind. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Well, hello. This is Shari Bayer coming to you from MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025. We just wrapped up the press conference after they announced that the #1 spot went to Orfali Brothers in Dubai, and I'm so excited for them. I'm going to go in for the celebration with all the chefs and all the industry that's here in Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much to 50 Best for having me, and thank you, as always, for being part of All in the Industry. Bye. For all you aspiring chefs, bakers, and food entrepreneurs out there, have you considered taking your passion to the next level? Maybe you dream of opening your own restaurant, becoming a pastry chef extraordinaire, or even a sommelier. Whatever your culinary aspiration, the Institute of Culinary Education, ICE, can help you turn it into reality. At its campuses in New York City and Los Angeles, ICE offers fast-track programs in a variety of areas, from culinary arts to pastry and baking, to restaurant management, hospitality management, and even sommelier training. And you can graduate in as little as 8 months. Did you know that some of the top name chefs and industry professionals that you've met right here on All in the Industry are ICE graduates? That's right. Stars like Gail Simmons, Andrew Ridgie, and Missy Robbins all hone their craft at ICE. Ready to pursue your dreams and find your culinary voice? Visit ice.edu today. That's ice.edu. Welcome back to All in the Industry. I'm your host and producer, Shari Bayer, and this is my special On the Road show from MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025, which took place in Abu Dhabi, UAE in late January, and I was thrilled to be a part of the celebration. I hope you enjoyed my interviews, and big congratulations to all the chefs and restaurateurs recognized at this amazing awards celebration. It was really exciting to be there, and I'm really happy for everyone who was honored on the list. And again, you can go to theworlds50best.com and check out on social the world's 50 best and hashtag MENA's 50 best. That's MENAS 50 best to learn more. And thank you again to everyone who joined me in conversation. I loved celebrating with all of you. Okay, it's time for my solo dining experience. So this week it's at FZN by Bjorn Franzen. Here's the rundown. The location: the Atlantis, the Palm, Crescent Road, the Palm, Jumeirah, Dubai, UAE. The concept: a fine dining restaurant by the Franzen Group with a signature creative approach to modern European cuisine infused with Japanese influences across a 9-course tasting menu. The food is pure, understated class with a balanced taste structure, refinement, individuality, and a Japanese touch. The chef and founder, Bjorn Franzen, and the executive chef is Torsten Vilgaard, who is the brother to Eric Vilgaard of Restaurant Journaire, who, if you recall from my episode 403, I met at the Best Chef Awards in Dubai in November and is currently ranked number 3, and we have an interview on that show. So there's an early fun fact for you. So why'd I go? Well, when I was in Dubai in November, this restaurant was about to open. I missed it by a couple days. And since I was going back to Abu Dhabi for the 50 Best Awards, I really wanted to go. And their PR reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in coming in. And I answered immediately with a big yes, I would love to visit. I have not been yet to Bjorn Franzen's original restaurant, Franzen, in Stockholm, or his restaurant, Zen, in Singapore. So I was so excited to get to dine at his new restaurant in Dubai. So thank you so much to Hannah Cole and the team of Franzen. Super grateful for this experience. Okay, so what was my experience? Well, after I spent a few days in Abu Dhabi for MENA's 50 Best Restaurants, I went to Dubai. If you don't know this, because I only learned this because I've now traveled there, Abu Dhabi and Dubai are about an hour to hour and a half apart. So you can easily visit both places on one trip and fly in and out of either airport if you are visiting that region. It's close enough. So I went to Dubai for a few days after Abu Dhabi, and I stayed on property at the Atlantis, the Palm, which was absolutely fantastic. I was on a top floor and received amazing hospitality. And I had dinner at FZN my first night. And when I arrived, I was warmly greeted and I was brought into a stylish living room, literally like you're in someone's beautiful home. Just feels like as soon as they open the door and welcome you into this restaurant space, that you're transported somewhere else. And out came my first non-alcoholic aperitif, and then little canapes, one by one. Explanations were given for each bite. And in front of me, there was a chef's counter where there were only a few guests in the room when I was there, and one at a time, they show up the ingredients that were going to be presented during our meal. So there was a table of 4 that was there before me, and I saw that they were getting a presentation, and then they were guided out of the room. And then it was my turn. I went up, and a lovely chef behind this intimate counter showed me on display all the beautiful ingredients they had. And I never had an experience quite like this before, where the specific ingredients that were being used for the meal ahead were shown to me, and I was asked if I had any questions, and it was just a time to have a nice conversation about what was to come. So that was really nice. And then after that, I was guided through a house tour where we passed by a prep kitchen where the pastry chefs were, and I got to say hi to them. And then to the main dining room, which is mostly a chef's counter, and it's beautiful. And when I arrived, it was pretty much the peak of service because the dining room was full. I was a later reservation, and the kitchen had a lot of energy. And I said hi to all the chefs, and then I sat down at this chef's counter, probably about 15 seats around 2 sides. I mean, the whole dining room, I think they say seats up to 27, and there's some tables on the side. So it was front and center, and I love sitting at a chef's counter, as people listening to this show know. And I had amazing service. I did their non-alcoholic pairing, which went beautifully with the 9-course menu. And it was a truly fantastic, wonderful tasting menu, perfectly executed, and different chefs presented different dishes. Bjorn was not there that night, but Torsten was there, and I got to meet him. And after the tasting menu part of this experience, I was then guided or brought back to the living room, where I opted to sit on their patio because it was nice enough to sit outside. And I finished the experience with some petit fours and some miso mandolins, and chef came over and we got to chat, and I had a really lovely time. I didn't want to leave. This happens to me sometimes when I go to restaurants, that I just love it so much. I love being there, but I did eventually leave. Okay, so what did I get? Well, I'm not going to name all of the dishes, but here are some of them. I started with a blini with shima, ahi, pomelo, and jalapeno. There was a crudo with scallop, fermented apricot, and Tokyo turnip. One of the courses was langoustine with koshi kikari rice and choron. There was French toast, Grand Tradition 2008 with truffle, vache rose, and aged balsamic vinegar. There was Wagyu BBQ with mataki, sauce verget, and Sichuan pepper. One of the desserts was frozen lime marshmallow with young coconut and lemongrass. And then, as I mentioned, there was the petit fours and the miso mandolins. My take, I really loved it. So many delicious, fantastic flavors. And I also had the NA pairing, which had an aperitif to start, which was elderflower, kombucha, and milky oolong. And then some of the pairings were grape, fennel, and sancho, and raisin, sep, and brown butter. And there was a mango punch. So it was all really unique and delicious. So the ambiance. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's 2 different rooms, experiences. Even though you're guided through this house or apartment, you wouldn't know you were in the Atlantis, which is a kid-friendly hotel. This is an adult-friendly restaurant, and the living room feels like you're in someone's luxury living room. And besides feeling luxurious but comfortable with pillows and red banquette and colors and good lighting, they also have some teddy bear props, as Bjorn's name translates to bear. And so there is a little theme of bears, which I like, of course, because my last name is Bayer. So I have my own connection to bears. Anyways, with the ambiance, the dining room is more dark, sexy, modern, really beautiful kitchen. And with the living room, you feel very transported when you're at this restaurant. I'd say it's perfect for going solo or a date. Interesting tidbit, Franzen in Stockholm has 3 Michelin stars and is currently number 35 on the world's 50 best list. And this restaurant, FCN, is too early to be ranked because it just opened in late November, early December last year. So we'll see what happens next year. And personal fun fact, so when I was in Dubai in November, I did go to Studio Franz in Dubai, which is next door to FCN, because it was open, and I had snacks and a non-alcoholic cocktail there, and this is a modern European bistro. I didn't have a full meal there, but it was great. I would totally go back. And also, personal fun fact, I will share with you more places that I ate while I was in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So I was staying on property, as I mentioned, and I got to go to several of the restaurants at Atlantis, the Palm, as well as their sister property, Atlantis, the Royal. And there they have Dinner by Heston Blumenthal, which is number 33 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. And I had been to Dinner by Heston Blumenthal years ago in London, but it was really great to be at this restaurant. And I got their famous meat fruit. And I also got the nitrogen ice cream trolley experience and an amazing server who took wonderful care of me. And I really loved that experience. I also got to go to Nobu at the Atlantis, the Palm. They have a beautiful Nobu there. It's on the 22nd floor and it has a view of the city and it's a really stunning space. I just had some drinks and snacks there. I also had afternoon tea at the Royal Tea Room by Christophe Devoyer, who was named Galt and Malot's UAE's Pastry Chef of the Year, and that was amazing. I had too much food, though, because it was tea for 2, and I was 1. But it was wonderful, and all of these experiences were set up by Hannah, so thank you so much. Really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed my stay at the hotel as well. I had a waterfront view, and the property has a beautiful pool, and it's on the beach, and turn down service in my hotel room was wonderful. They left me some chocolates, and there were rose petals on my bed when I came in that said welcome, and some gifts, and it was just a really fantastic experience. I was spoiled, so thank you. Also in Dubai, I went to 3 by Eva, which is a Jordanian restaurant, and I absolutely loved it. A casual place. I had for dessert the kanafe, which was presented tableside, and it was probably the best kanafe I've ever had. It was that good. I also went to Mohammed Orfali and his chef partner, Abiraj Kwatwani's new place, Maneo, and I had an outstanding Thai-inspired tasting menu. It was really fantastic, and I was grateful that they set up this reservation for me, and I was able to go. Also in Dubai, I went to Beit Mariam, which is home-style Levantine dishes by chef owner Salam. I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm skipping it. And her place is number 15 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. And she's a new place called Soufret Mariam that looks fantastic. But I had a wonderful dinner at Beit Mariam. I also caught the sunset and did a little yoga by Burj Al Arab. I was able to see that this trip. So that, I believe, covers my meals of Dubai. In Abu Dhabi, I went to Goldfish, which is Akmal Anwar's restaurant. He's a chef-wise chef, and he also has a location in Dubai, but I went to his location in Abu Dhabi, and that was fantastic. I also went to a restaurant called Erth, which wasn't the same as the property where the awards were. This restaurant was located where they were having this Al Hosan Festival, which is a festival celebrating culture and creativity. And I didn't realize that was happening when I went to dinner, but basically you had to go through the festival to get to dinner. So I went to a festival. There were food vendors, there were camels, there was music, people dancing. I walked around the palace. It was very cool. I had a good time. The weather was really great while I was there too. Okay, also in Abu Dhabi, I had lunch at Talia by Antonio Guida, which is a 1 Michelin star restaurant, at the Emirate Palace Mandarin Oriental. I also went to one of MENA's 50 best signature sessions dinners at Strawfire, also at the Emirate Palace. It's a spectacular property and really looks like a palace. And this dinner was in collaboration with Goh, which is a restaurant from Fukuoka, Japan. And the chef there, Go Fukuyama, I got to meet. He was wonderful. And that was a really great tasting menu and a lovely experience. And finally, in Abu Dhabi, I had lunch at LPM Abu Dhabi, which they have a few locations around the world. This one's currently ranked number 38 on MENA's 50 Best Restaurants list. And I also had snacks at Riba, RYBA, which is a seafood restaurant with global flavors. And I checked out the Louvre Abu Dhabi Museum, and there was a party at Zuma. So I think that's everything. I'm probably missing something, but this is all probably more information than you need to begin with. So that was my personal fun fact, and a long one. Okay, back to FCN. The cost of the meal. As a guest of the restaurant, I was comped, super grateful. It was such an extraordinary experience. The meal typically costs 2,000 AED, which is over $500 US, and the pairing would have been over $200 US as well. I believe it's $750 AED, and that's for the non-alcoholic pairing. So it's a pricey restaurant. It's a splurge. It's really one of a kind. And I say, if you can go and you can afford to go, because it's really special. And we'll see what happens in the rankings next year. I wish them the best. The team was really lovely. And again, I'm super grateful. So thank you. Would I go back? Yes, I would. And their website is restaurantfcn.com and Instagram at restaurantfzn. All right. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special on-the-road episode from MENA's 50 Best Restaurants 2025, which took place in Abu Dhabi, UAE in late January. Thank you to everyone who joined me on this show and to 50 Best for having me. And big congratulations to everyone. I'm so happy for each and every one of you and your teams. To find out more, you can go to theworlds50best.com. Check out on Instagram at theworlds50best and hashtag MENA's50best. And because the 50 Best moves fast with their regionals this week, guess what? It's Asia's 50 Best Restaurants, which I attended last year. I'm not at this year, but if you're following on social, you should see this week awards announcements from that as well. And I'm excited to see who's recognized. And I'm sorry I'm missing the celebration in Seoul. Last time was outstanding. But I hope everyone has an amazing time and to catch you next time. And big congratulations to 50 Best on all of your productions. Always an amazing job. You can follow me on social at Shari Bayer, at Bayer PR, and at All Industry. My YouTube channel and Facebook page are All in the Industry. You can find all of our episodes at allintheindustry.com. You can also find us wherever you listen to your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you get a moment, please leave us a rating or review. It will help more people find our show. You can check out my other websites, BayerPublicRelations.com and ShariBayer.com. And a reminder of my book, Chefwise, Life Lessons from Leading Chefs Around the World by Fiden, is available wherever books are sold. Thanks to the Institute of Culinary Education, ICE, for their support of this episode. To learn more, visit ice.edu today. And finally, many thanks to my engineer, Armin, and again to 50 Best. I'm your host and producer, Shari Bayer. I will be back soon with a new show. I hope you'll tune in then. And thank you as always for being part of All in the Industry. Bye. All in the Industry is an independent podcast hosted and produced by Shari Bayer. Follow us on Instagram at All Industry and on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, All in the Industry. Subscribe to our show wherever you listen to your podcasts so you don't miss any new episodes. To learn more, visit allintheindustry.com.